Hello world, this is Manic DM. I am going to run through some of the great starter kits of the world. We're going to start off with City of Mist. Now, to give some background information for those who are not familiar, City of Mist was a tabletop RPG game. It was originally kickstarted in 2016 by Son of Oak Game Studio, launching in 2017. They've had a couple releases since then, so it's slowly built up some steam. Core book's coming out in 2019, and with a second Kickstarter launching for this starter box released in 2020. Many of you may have come across this from other streamers and other gaming studios. It's built up a lot of really interesting ideas in gaming, and so I wanted to take a chance to run through the starter kit, do a little bit of an unboxing, and then run through my opinions on what are some great things that have come out of this kit and this game in general, and then some of the drawbacks, so that way anybody diving in the game knows what to expect and what they'll need to do to further prepare for this experience. Quick disclaimer, there is no sponsorship here. I receive no payment. Everything you're about to hear is 100% my opinion. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in. First thing you're going to notice about this box is there's some beautiful art here. It is also very thin and easy to fit on the gaming shelf, which is very nice when you compare it to other kits. It has two booklets, one for the players and one for the Master of Ceremonies or Game Master. This is very convenient, so you can have everyone gets their own book and you can just pass it around as needed. There are some really weird dice here that I've got to call attention to. It comes with two. They're both D12s, but this is a D6 system, so every number appears twice. Now, if you're like me, you like to bring your own dice to a game, but just so you know, you don't need to. There's a spotlight system here, so only one person's really going to be rolling at a time, allowing everybody to take turns. It also has these tags. These are your condition trackers or special effects that will track through combat as well as prolong throughout the game. They are one-sided, and they kind of help control the flow of what's going on with your character. This I'm a little disappointed in. This is the all-seeing eye power tag or card. Rather than multiple character sheets, what you usually have are tags. And unfortunately, if you like customizing your character, you're not going to find a lot of tags in this game. You're going to have to make them on your own. Instead, they come with these pre-generated character sheets. This was both a plus and minus for me. Me personally, I love diving into a game, creating my own characters. But if you're brand new to a system, these character sheets are a great way to learn the system really fast. There are 5 different characters, and again, beautiful artwork. I'm just flipping through them real quick. We're going to actually open the last one up for Lily Chow. She is your, I guess you'd call her a summoner. It's really interesting characters, and that's one of the consistent things you'll see in here. Gotta take a minute just to admire that art. That is absolutely stunning. And on the other side, this is everything a player needs. So you have the player book, but you'll never really need to pass it around all that much because this runs you through the different moves players can do, their power tags or abilities. It runs you through, now this particular character has 2 mythos and 2 logos. So you'll see each of their abilities laid out through power tags, weaknesses. You have their more human traits mixed with their more heroic. This was another bonus for me. I love getting extra little widgets and things I didn't expect with starter boxes. This one has different tokens to kind of move around and maps to go with it, which is a really great plus. Now these aren't gridded, so you can't use them for multiple systems, but if you're looking to just throw some minis onto a page, you can do it anytime, so more of a free-flowing system. There are tags for all the pre-generated characters as well as all of the enemies that you'll run into in your system. Lay them out on the board, you can have a sense of where everything is. You can go from there. There's about 8 different maps contained in here. We won't flip through them because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but overall, quite beautiful. I'm going to take a quick flip through the Master of Ceremonies book. I don't want to give away too much. If you're interested, definitely take a look at buying it. But I do want to point out just the context. You'll get kind of a general rundown of your role, the different actions you can take and players can take, and you get your first case. And one of the things I have to point out with this book is it is a very, or game in general, it's a very narrative storytelling, and that is probably the most important takeaway is this system that I'm showing you right here. This is their iceberg storytelling system. It's not a new concept, but they lay it out quite beautifully, starting with the introduction areas that you may run into. It allows you to kind of take branching arcs of the story and flow down into the next scene. So you're telling a more narrative story, almost like a movie. You have these cinematic clips that you run into interacting with different NPCs, and the way your characters interact with those stories controls the natural flow, allowing you to progress the story. Whether you succeed or fail, your characters are moving forward in a progression. And there's no getting stuck, which can happen in a lot of other games. Throughout the book, you'll find that a lot of it is separated out and highlighted in different colors. The yellow boxes we just saw are important notes for each of the characters. So a game master or a master of ceremonies can quickly flip through the book and see, if the crew does this, then they will know, then this happens, and you get more information from there. Now, this is the player's book, and again, we're just going to do a quick flip through. Don't want to go give away too much, but it runs through kind of your basics. How to play. This is a very narrative game, so you have monologues and voiceovers. You go through your crew. It has a breakdown of each of the character folios. Those are your pre-generated characters. And it really gives you a lot of information on the role-playing aspect of this game. Because it is a narrative story, there isn't a lot of the crunchiness that you're going to find in other games. There's not a lot of math and finding things on your character sheet. You say what you want to do, you pick it out, and your crew can help you out. But at the end of the day, you just have to roll 2 dice and see what happens. Last thing I have to point out is this beautiful concept that City of Mist does. It's this idea of mythos and logos. The fact that your character has 2 aspects to them, which is, I have to say, brilliant because it fleshes out characters in such a deep and unique way that you don't see in a lot of systems. Imagine, if you will, that you can take any character from novels, from movies, from history, and put it together with a more modern personality type. So if you wanted to be King Arthur, who is a policeman, or you wanted to be Odin, who is a skateboarder, then you can throw these together and you start asking questions about how these 2 personalities interact. And I gotta say, you quickly flesh out this character in a way no other system can. So, absolutely brilliant. I'm in love with it. Now, let's take a bit to dive into a little bit more of a technical review of everything that we've seen so far and how it's going to work for you at the table. So, to review this starter kit, I was looking at 4 different criteria. The concept it's a simple question. Is it fun? Is it a good concept? Does it have a good, strong basis? And with this, I have to say, there is limitless potential. You get to fully customize and flesh out a character, and you get these story-driven narratives. Downside, it is a little group dependent. Depending on how active and engaged your group is, you can have mixed results with the story narrative, or it makes it put more work on the game master rather than the players, which can be a challenge. Next criteria is user friendliness. Is it beginner friendly for a starter box? A lot of games can be beautiful, but if you can't figure it out, it makes it really challenging to want to play it again. This is deceptively simple. You succeed or fail, you advance the story, which is really great. I will say that if you play Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, you have to get some of that stuff out of your head. Downside, starters made for the pre-gens. And if you want to try and customize, you're going to need extra printouts. Next criteria is going to be your depth of the game. How much can you customize? And this is where City of Mist really takes over. You get these fully customizable characters, and as I mentioned, I love the fact that you have to think about characters in an all-new way, which you can take to any other system you play. Downside, I'm going to keep bringing this up, tailored to pre-gens. You're always stuck with a pre-gens unless you want to do more work as a game master and a player. Last but certainly not least is value. What are you getting for your money? What you're getting in this box is a lot of amazing tools that you can take to any game you play, any story you write. You have everything you need to start, general rules, character sheets. Get some nice bonuses here with some dice, some maps, some tokens. So really, you have everything you need to play. Downside, what it costs you. So this starter box runs for $39.99. There are some discounts running on the City of Mist websites on a regular basis. And you don't get character cards, which really surprised me. Overall, a lot of really great things in this box. Let's take a look at the ranking. So for concept, we're going to give it 4 out of 5. It's beautiful, beginner friendly. As long as you're using pre-gens, it's great, 5 out of 5. Depth, I gotta say there's a little bit more here because I like customizing, so I'm going to only give it 2. Value, there's a lot here for your money. I'm really enjoying it. I think I've got some concepts I could take to any other game, storytelling, but it's missing things. So again, I'm going to give this 2 out of 5. Overall ranking, I think this is a great game. I think it's a perfect pickup for a game night or for people who really want to dive into more options. So I'm going to give this 3 stars overall. Thank you, everyone. I am a Manic GM. Looking forward to our next crazy game. Feel free to leave comments, like, and subscribe, and we will get some more content for you soon.